Okay, so now that our strips have been all cut to width at the table saw, we're going to start cutting individual pieces out. And the first one that we want to cut out is going to be the vertical piece that you see here. Okay, we're just going to cut it to its final length, which is going to be 15 inches. Now, if you remember from what we drew up over here, the 35.5 inch long pieces that we see right here, that is the strips that we have on this side of the stack. And the remaining chunk, this 24 3/4 section, that is on this stack right here. So you could see it's a little bit shorter than the other pile of strips. Now, starting with the vertical piece, I figured out that we're going to get, well, out of these strips, the longer strips, remember that one piece is going to be enough for one project, okay? So out of each of one of these strips, I want to cut one 15-inch long piece, and that's going to give us our vertical piece. And out of the smaller strips, I also want to cut one vertical strip each. If you look over here, we figured on getting one vertical strip out of the remaining pieces here. So I am going to need, if you look, out of those 4 sheets that we cut, I'm going to be cutting 156 pieces that are 15 inches long. Now, if I was doing just one piece, okay, I would take the piece over to my radial arm saw, and I'm just going to set the camera down here. Try to set it up so you can see. And what I would basically do if I was just cutting one piece is set my tape measure down, measure out to 15 inches, mark a line, make a little mark so I know what side of the line I should cut with my blade so that I don't cut it too short. And you can see I have my line, and I would line it up to the saw opening like so. Get it as lined up as I can next to that line, and then I would turn on the saw and make the cut. Now, imagine doing that same process, measuring it, marking it, lining it up, cutting it 156 times. It's, number one, going to get very tiring. It's going to take a long time, and you're not going to be very accurate because there's always going to be some human error there. So what I'm going to do instead, and this is something that we do when we're mass producing something, is use what's called a stop block. And this is our stop block here, okay? And you can see it says this is not a fence. Don't rest your board against this edge. I'll show you more on that in a minute. But it fits in this track here. See, there's a little, what's called a T-slot, all right? And it slides in this track. And I know that I'm going to be cutting this to 15 inches. And if you look closely here, you could see there's a little line right there, okay? And I'm going to line that up to the 15-inch mark. Nice and carefully. I want to look straight on to make sure it's at 15. And once I'm there, I'm going to lock this down so that it's nice and tight and my stop block doesn't move. All right. And then what's going to happen, which you'll see in a moment, is take my ring off so I don't have it on when we're cutting. So from this edge of the stop block to the inside edge of the blade is 15 inches. Let me move this a little closer so you can see. That puts us right at 15 inches, okay? So what that allows me to do in a very quick and accurate way is for every cut that I need to make, I will put the board against the fence, bump it against the stop block, and then I can make my cut. And every time I could cut 1,000 pieces, and every piece is going to be 15 inches long, so long as the stop block is set correctly. Okay, so I am going to demonstrate just making one of those cuts. I'm going to move this a little further back. Maybe not. We'll keep it right there. You'll see the rest in the time-lapse video. So I'm going to get my safety glasses on. We're going to turn the dust collector on. Okay, here we go. Left hand's going to be here, right hand on the carriage. And that leaves us with a piece that is exactly 15 inches. Okay? So I am going to get going here on cutting 155 more of these, and you will see that fun on the time lapse.